What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Whitney's World podcast. I'm your host, Whitney Morgan Ward, and I am so happy to have you wherever you're at on this planet. Thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being a part of my journey of what I have to share and what I'm learning through the stars as we go through the world. So, thank you guys so much. This is episode number 45. I am so happy. I am literally loving this journey, and it was something placed on my heart. I ran with it, and it has been one of the most exciting things I've done in a long time. Besides moving from Colorado, that was also exciting. But this whole podcasting journey has literally helped me find who I am, create a new identity for myself, and to really connect with some amazing people. So, again, I am so thankful to be here. So, thank you guys for tuning in. I am officially on YouTube. So, if you are still listening on Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere else, thank you guys for listening. You can also hop over to YouTube where you can watch me on my YouTube channel. I am genuinely loving that. So please make sure that you comment, like, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. It helps me grow. It helps reach the message to more and more people. So thank you. If you are on Spotify or Apple Music, please leave me a comment or a review. I would really appreciate it. Again, it helps me grow. It helps my podcast get out to more people that are like you, wanting to enhance their life and follow along with mine. So thank you guys so much. I am on Instagram and TikTok, Whitney's World _222. 222 are my favorite numbers. They've been following me through my life journey for the past, probably year. And I even have a bracelet, if you can see. It's a little blurry, but it says 222. So anyway, that is where my Instagram and TikTok is. Please follow me on there. And last week, I gave a shout out to Rosie Baked Treats. She makes treats that are infused, and also she makes health and beauty stuff. So I do have this lip gloss that I absolutely love. I use it every day. My friends love it. And what I love about it is it isn't sticky. I'm not a sticky lip gloss girl. I like the velvety feel. I love the big tip on here. And also, I love that the color lasts. Like, even when the gloss has kind of like went away, if I'm like drinking something or eating, the color is still on there. So check out Rosie Baked Treats. I almost said cheeks. On Instagram and TikTok. She is getting her website. She's doing something with her website. So I will definitely be back to tell you guys about her. But make sure you guys follow her at Rosie Baked Treats for all your treats and then health and beauty. So thanks, Rosie. So guys, I want to talk today about quite a few things that are just on my heart, some things that I'm learning and going through. And I really want to talk about the first thing that I want to talk about, and something that I've really been learning, really focusing on in my life, is giving gratitude for the abundance in my life, for being so thankful for all the things that I have currently in my reality, to one, make sure that those things know that I'm thankful, but also to continue to be able to get more. Because when you are in a place of gratitude and when you are thankful for what you currently have, more will come to you. But if you are constantly in this vibration of I don't have enough, I'm in lack, we have universal laws, the law of attraction, that when you are constantly thinking about something, whether you need more, you don't have enough, or you have enough and you're so thankful for what you have, the law of attraction works to bring you more of what you're focusing on. So this has really been something that I've been tapping into, been learning about, because I think it's so important. And I really want to talk about that's one of the things I want to talk about today, because we live in a world that is constantly telling us that there is not enough, that the economy sucks, the gas prices are high, pinch your pennies. All these things are happening in our reality around us that, one, we cannot control, and two, it just seems so not the way that God created us to live on this earth, not the way that we were supposed to come and expand ourselves. And it never made sense to me that we were supposed to live in lack. I never felt like in my core that was the life that I was supposed to live. And so I made the choice at 23 to start in real estate because I wanted to build something. I wanted to really challenge myself. I wanted to get in sales. I wanted to figure out how to make more money so I could expand, so I could do more. Before I did real estate, I worked for a pediatric dentist and I learned a lot there, but I could only take one trip a year because that was all I could afford. I could only stay home if I was literally vomiting and had the flu, because that was the work environment. That was what I had to do. And so I really, at a young age, decided, I gotta do something else. Like, this life is not what I'm meant to do. And so that's how I started in real estate. And real estate has been one of the greatest things that ever happened to me. I've met the most incredible people that have helped me along my journey so much and have provided a lifestyle for me that I always wanted. And if I wouldn't have made that jump to believe in abundance and to believe that I could create something better for myself at such a young age, I wouldn't be sitting here. And it really is a testament that for my life and your life, that we are supposed to be in abundance, that we're supposed to live an abundant life, that we are supposed to believe in ourselves and try something new, step out of our comfort zones, do something that we feel called to do. And what's beautiful is when you do that and you focus on that, your life will start to unfold in miraculous ways. Because the beauty about stepping out and doing real estate at a young age was I learned so much. I learned sales, I learned confidence, but I also was introduced to some incredible people that, again, have helped me along my journey, have supported me, loved me, pushed me along, believed in me. And again, if I would have just stayed in my job working way longer than 8 to 5, I was there even more than that, 5 days a week. And then I had to work on call for every 6 weeks. We had to have this phone. And then we were on call basically 24/7, literally for 7 days a week. And if I wouldn't have made the jump to just believe, like, I'm supposed to have an abundant life and I'm going to go figure out a way to make that happen, I wouldn't be sitting here. I don't know where I'd be sitting, but I probably wouldn't be sitting here. And I really want to challenge you to look at your life and look at what you're building and look at your mindset that you are thinking about, because my lawn guy is outside and it is so loud. So 1 second, please. So I really want to challenge you that wherever you're at in your life and whatever you are focusing on, to make sure that when you are thinking about these things and you are trying to get yourself to be more abundant, to manifest a new job, a new career, something, that you're constantly giving gratitude for what you have and not always looking at your reality for the lack. Because again, the law of abundance is going to give you what you are constantly thinking about, and it is going to continue to give you that abundance That's why it's called the law of abundance. And we cannot turn these laws off. These laws are universal laws, and they are sent here to help us because we are creators and we are creating our own reality. So when we are focusing on the goodness of our lives and the roof over our heads and the clothes in our closet and the water that we have, because some people don't even have fresh drinking water, they don't have water to bathe in. When we are thinking about these things and we are genuinely grateful for them, and we can look at our lives and see that we have an abundance of friendships and our family, and there's so many things when you look in nature and you see beautiful butterflies and you see the birds and you see the trees that provide shade to your home, or so you can sit outside and go have a picnic, or to go to the beach, because now I live at the beach and it's the best thing ever. But to just go sit there and see that there's so much abundance around us. When you constantly scan your reality for what is abundant, your reality will start to shift. But if you are constantly just living your life in lack and in not enoughness, your reality is going to continue to give you that, because it is the law. And this is where that retraining your subconscious comes into play, because I have lived my life in lack mindset for a long time. When I started real estate, I didn't understand anything about manifesting. I literally, all I knew was when you set your mind to something, you can achieve it. That was the extent of what I've known. Now that I've gone deeper and I'm learning more and I've gone on this spiritual journey, I've learned that we are sent here for so much more and to create what we are meant to create in this world. And also, like, for me, it's been a process, because I never knew what I was meant to create. I just knew it was something. I had to do a lot of introspection in my life and in my world to really figure out what was going on and how I could shift my mindset to a mindset of abundance and not worry about the external world, but realize that I'm in control of my life. I'm in control of where I'm going. And as long as I can think positively, as long as I can remind myself that I am meant to come here and create and that I'm meant to live abundantly, as long as I stay focused on those things, so much of my life and my world will change. And it has changed. And I'm still learning so much daily about all of these things. But what learning about manifestation, like really starting to learn about it and really starting to learn about my subconscious mind and really starting to learn about the universe and why we came here, I have been able to shift so many things. And I realize that my life is changing step by step, and that there's so much beauty, and that this is what we came here for. And I had to really start to change my mind and become aware of who I am. And in the process of all of this, my identity is changing. I'm changing as a person, as a woman. There are things that now I want to do differently. There are things that I want to start. There are processes in my life that I am completely changing because I feel called to this. I feel like through my journey of moving, restarting, and just continuing to learn all of these things, I realize the importance of changing your mind, changing your self-talk and mindset work to that of abundance. And even though your reality is not where you want it to be, you can shift that. You can. But it comes down to believing, having faith that it's going to happen, knowing that it's going to happen, and realizing that we live in a world, in a universe that is abundant. And what we set our mind to and what we speak out loud, our world is going to continue to give that back to us. It is the law, 100%. When you start to go down this path as well, and you start to really learn these laws, you start to learn that you have a new purpose. It starts to open up doors for you. It starts to open up a new world to you. Because when you get this knowledge, you cannot ignore it. But it takes time to retrain your subconscious mind. It takes time to actually have your world reflect all of this inner work that you're doing. Because your inner world is a reflection of your external world. But it also takes time. And like for me, my world came crashing down and I've been rebuilding on a stronger foundation. But my world literally came crashing down. And even though this part of my journey has been hard, it's been worth it. And I am just such a believer in you have to go through the dark times to see the light. You cannot get away from that. And the dark times that I went through is literally why I'm sitting here now. Because I want to share that even though you go through the dark, there is light. It is what makes us what we are. But we do have to have a conscious shift. And we have to realize like the path that I'm going down is not the path that I need to continue on. And there's a new path. And every day you open yourself up to new knowledge, to learning more, to reading books, to listening to podcasts. And like for me in my journey, I just flood my mind with literally as much as I can. I flood my mind with as much knowledge, with as much appreciation, with as much good energy as literally possible. And there will be things that test you as well. Like last week, I had an incident. I didn't even know I was going to talk about this, but I had an incident where I feel like because I feel like I'm changing so much and I really am genuinely manifesting like a new life for myself, a new world for myself, that there's tests that come your way to be like, are you really changing? Are you really who you say you are? Are you really on this path? And sometimes we fail the test, but it's okay because it's like, okay, well, I still have work. I still have some work I can do. I still need to learn a little bit more about myself in that aspect. And for this instance, I was triggered. Well, actually wasn't triggered, but my world is trying to trigger me to see if I was going to be triggered or if I've moved on. And if this situation happened to me a year ago, it would have been completely different. But this situation came up and I was able to, like, it didn't affect me at all. Whereas a year ago, it would have gotten under my skin. I would have probably been really upset, probably screaming, maybe yelling. I would have been calling all my friends, like, can you believe this happened? And it just didn't faze me. And I wished that person well. And it was just such a testament of all the work that I've been doing, all the healing that I've been going through to be able to transcend my life and to be able to get my life to be better and to be the version of myself that I truly know I'm meant to be. And I don't want to give too many details. Obviously, I'm trying to go about this situation on like not giving too many details. But again, it was just really cool to finally be in a place where I wasn't triggered by this external thing trying to come into my world. And I was happy. And I was like, it doesn't bother me. It literally doesn't faze me. And you can get to that point too. And it takes time. It takes, like I said, it took me a year to be here. But when you keep going, when you keep pushing forward, when you keep changing your mind every day to get better, to be better, and you're changing your subconscious, it does take time, but then eventually everything starts clicking for you. Everything starts happening for you in the way that you want your life to go. It's meant to happen that way. But you do most times have to go through dark to see the light. And so if you're in a place where you're really in a dark place and you don't know how to get out of what you're going through, one thing that's really helped me on my journey is like journaling and brain dumping and just writing what I'm feeling and what I'm going through. And then, and this takes like, maybe 20, 30 minutes, maybe it'll take you longer, but really getting on paper, like what you're going through. And then on the next page, turning the page and where am I going and what do I want? And what that's helped me do is that's helped me almost put myself in the future. It's helped me turn the page and start to focus on the good, start to focus on where I want to go. Because sometimes we get so trapped in our minds and we get so trapped in this cycle of negativity that the way to break the cycle is to literally turn the page and put the new story down. To really put something else on. You're forcing your mind to change when you do that. And you're literally pulling yourself out of the darkness to now see the light. And that is one thing that has really, really helped me on my journey of having to go through the dark to see the light. So try that. And let me know in the comments if that is helpful to you. And if you've ever done that, because I'd never even done that until this year, like literally 2024. I never brain dumped. The negative turned the page and went to positive. And that's that retraining of your subconscious mind because you're interrupting that loop. You're literally getting off the hamster wheel and you are turning the page to something new, to something great. So try a brain dump exercise. I really think that that will help you if you are in a negative space. And then it also gives you something new to focus on. It gives your brain something like, okay, this is where we're going to go. So how do we get there? Well, we need to stop with the negative self-talk. We need to bring gratitude into our lives. We need to start focusing on the goodness and focusing on the gratitude and what I can be thankful for and what I can focus on. Because when you what you focus on grows. So when you focus, again, it's the law of the attraction. It's the same thing. Whatever you focus on is going to grow. So you need to interrupt that negative brain pattern and start something new. Turn the page to a new story and focus on that. Start putting your energy towards that. And let's say you want to, let's just say you want to get into sales because you've realized that you want to work for yourself and you want to get out of your job. So now, what are my good traits? What am I good at? And now you're shifting your mind, you're shifting your attention to something good. Then, with our internet, we live in a whole new world. Start to do some research on, okay, if you're good at editing podcasts, I don't know, start looking up how to become a podcast editor. Maybe you could start, editing someone's podcast. Maybe you want to start your own. I don't know what you want to do, but you can start to shift your energy and start to look at something different to get you to where you want to go. But you really got to start doing some inner work. You really got to start looking at yourself and your inner world to create a new world for yourself. But the whole trick is that you have to focus on feeling better. Because if you don't feel better, then you're back on that hamster wheel of negativity. And that's where I shared a couple podcasts ago. Like, I started realizing that I really enjoy doing my makeup. And that time when I do my makeup, I'm either listening to the music I love or listening to a podcast about spirituality or manifesting or growing a business or something. And I'm just flooding my mind with goodness to get me off that hamster wheel of I'm not where I want to be. But now I know where I'm going. And also, like, doing my makeup helps me feel better. I enjoy that. It literally makes me feel better. It puts me in a higher vibration. So you do what you need to do to make sure that you're in a higher vibration. Also, generosity. If you can be generous with your time, with your money, with cleaning out your house and giving it away, like, what ways can you find to be generous to someone? Because giving will also help you feel better, to attract more in your life, to become more magnetic. Even holding the door open for someone. Like, just start figuring out, how can I be generous in my life? Because when you are, I promise you, it will help you feel better. And when you feel better, you're raising your vibration. And when you raise your vibration, you are becoming more magnetic. And when you're more magnetic, you are going to start attracting more of what you want because your vibration is higher. Because you're now off that hamster wheel of not focusing on negativity. And now you're focusing on the positivity in life to try to get you to a better place. And I'm telling you, like, this is real. Thank God, really thank God this stuff's real. But it is real. And if you're listening to this podcast, you know it's real. That's why you're listening. And there's so much out there for you, but it's also a journey and a process. So, like, for a long time, I just wanted it now. And now I'm like, I'm enjoying this. Like, this is so fun. I'm growing so much as a person. Like, as Whitney, I'm growing so much just by me continuing to put this podcast out every week, to continuing to show up, to continue to share my knowledge and to bring something good into the world, I am growing so much. And that is all I could ask for, is just to grow, to expand. And so when you really focus on how you can grow, how you can expand, how you can bring a higher vibration to the planet, your whole life will start to change. And also, a lot of things will probably move out of your life. But that's okay, because when you do start to make these leaps and you really start to change, you have to clear out to let the new in. And as we go into spring, spring cleaning that we've heard about our whole lives, like that's real. Like right now, we're in a time where we're spring cleaning. So if things like walk away from you and during this journey, there's things that start to like go out of your world, it's okay, because it's clearing that space for something new. And so also keep in mind that when this happens, to detach. Don't be attached to things. Don't be attached to outcomes. Don't be attached to situations or things that are going on in your external world. Be attached to your internal world, because that is all that matters. And that's something that I've really learned, is just to not be attached, to just let things happen. Don't be attached to, like for me personally, I'm not attached to how many followers I have and how many people are listening to my podcast. I'm watching and I look at those things because stats are important to the process that I'm building, but I'm not attached to that. What I'm attached to is that I just keep going, because again, I'm growing and I know that everything's happening just as it should, but I'm trusting the process. But I'm not attached to the outcomes. I know it's coming. I now live in this knowing state that I know I'm going to manifest what I'm seeing in my mind, what I'm visualizing, what I like now have these like things that pop up in my head, and these ideas and these things and these places I see myself in, and these places that I find in my mind's eye. I see them now and I'm like, okay, that's cool. That's going to happen. I know that's going to happen. But I'm not attached to the outcome. I'm not attached to the timing. I'm not attached to when and how's it going to happen. That just gives me anxiety. I'm just like, that's cool. I see where I'm going. It's like I can see in the future now by just living in this knowing state, knowing that I'm doing the right things that I feel called to do, and I'm growing along the way. I'm becoming this version that I know I'm supposed to become. And in the right timing, like it's all going to hit. Again, because I know that if other people can do it, I can do it. And if they can have it, I can have it. And if they have it, it's just a testament. It's just showing me that I can do it too. And so on this journey of learning about the law of attraction and manifesting and moving on and growing your life and getting off that hamster wheel of negativity and moving towards positivity, knowing it's going to get better is also so freeing. And there's so much power in that. And you do have to know that. Like, just know that. Accept that. Because it's going to happen for you. One other thing to keep in mind is to just really follow those things that call you, like that inner voice, your intuition, that thought that you get. Like, I can't tell you how many times on my journey I felt called to something and I didn't know why. And then I did it. And then later I was like, that's why. That makes perfect sense. So listen to that inner voice. Listen to that calling. Listen to that thing inside that when you think about it, you're like, I feel like that's going to make me feel better, and do it. Do it. Because you never know. But if you don't do it, then you're never going to know if it was something you were supposed to do, or maybe just like a weird thought you have. But your intuition is your higher self, and that is your guidance system. It is guiding you towards your better life. And there are going to be ups and downs in this process because you are retraining your subconscious mind, and you have to get your subconscious mind to click. You have to get your mind to understand, and it does take time. There are lots of things that go into this, and I'll be going into like more and more ways as time goes on how to really retrain your subconscious mind and things that I've done. But I can't share it all right now. What I can tell you is to do a brain dump and write everything that you feel now when it comes to relationships, your finances, your career, your job, your family, whatever it is. Start that brain dump and then turn the page and write the new future. And then every day, look at that. Every day, look at that new future. Say it out loud. Focus on it. And anytime you feel something that's like, do this, go there, call that person, talk to them, do it, because you don't know what's on the other side of that. But when you are off the hamster wheel and now you're putting yourself into a future, you're now needing to turn the page, and now you are focusing on something new to get you where you need to go. And I really believe in this because this has really, really helped me. And for instance, I started this podcast literally off a feeling like, I need to start a podcast. Okay. And my podcast saved my life, which I talked about in December before I was on YouTube. And I never knew why I was starting this podcast, but I started it because I felt called to it, and it ended up genuinely saving me because I was in a really, really dark place in 2023. That was like when I went through my dark night of the soul, as I talk about that dark place where you have to go through the dark to see the light. Like, the podcast was my light, and I didn't know it. I didn't understand why. I just knew that I needed to do it. And I did it based purely off of feeling and purely off of faith. And now an entire new world has opened up to me. An entire new career is opening up to me. An entire new business is opening up to me based off of a feeling to start a podcast. It's crazy. So you never know why things are calling you and why your life is evolving, but it's meant to happen for your highest self, for your highest good, for you to get off that hamster wheel and to get on to your future, to get on to a new page, to turn the page to find your higher self. And don't forget that to become light, you are going to have to go through the dark. And some people go through a lot darker times than others. So maybe yours isn't going to be that bad, but maybe you're going to really have to shed a lot, do a lot of inner work to find that. I had to do that. I feel like my darkness was very heavy, and I just had to keep plucking myself out almost every day, it felt like. But it's so worth it. And I am literally a completely different version of myself. And I would not take it back for anything. I would do it all over again. And it is just the beginning. I am so thankful. So if this resonated with you, drop a comment. Let me know. I would love to hear from you. You can also message me on Instagram or TikTok what you're going through. I would love to hear from you as well. And I would love to help you along your journey, along your way. There are so many other things to dive into, but I can only talk about so much in 45 minutes. I would love to support you. And like I said, there are things coming. I am in the process of manifesting a lot for myself and my new business and my new career and what's to come. So I am along on this journey just as much as you are. I am doing all these things, and you are watching my life unfold in real time. But it is so exciting, and it is so cool, and it is still so powerful to be on this journey, to be sharing it with all of you, and that you guys are listening. And then the last thing that I want to just note is embrace the change. Don't push it away, because what you resist persists. So along your journey, when you're changing and you're transforming, just embrace the change and realize that it's meant to happen. Be open to it. It's going to open your world up to a completely different transformation, a completely different version of yourself. And it is reshaping your identity for the best. But don't resist it. Just let it happen. It's going to happen. And it is going to serve your highest self. 100%. So, I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in to Whitney's World. This is episode number 45. It's so crazy. I really need to go back and listen to some of the beginning of my podcast, because I remember when I first started this, I was like, I don't know why this is happening. I don't know what's going to happen. And now I get it. And now I understand why it happened. It happened because it was meant to happen. It happened because it had to happen. And I'm so happy and thankful that I stepped out, that I did it, and that I've continued to move on, move forward, push forward, go on. Consistency is everything. I never gave up. I haven't missed a week yet. If I ever miss a week, it's literally because I'm sick. But I don't think I'm going to ever get sick again. Just kidding. But there's just so much good that happens from just embracing something that feels so uncomfortable and scary, but knowing that like you have this and knowing that this is meant to be, like this is literally meant to happen. So I have to do it. When you can get to that point in life, That is magic. That is literally where the magic happens. So I hope this was helpful. If you needed to take notes, I should have said that in the beginning. Maybe you need to take notes, but now you just have to listen to it again and take notes and share it with someone that you feel like could listen to this message. I love you guys very much. Let's connect. Connect with me on Instagram, TikTok, Whitney's World _222, and follow me on YouTube, like and subscribe, and please comment below with what resonated. I love you guys very much. Have an amazing week. Be blessed. Go crush your dreams. Go crush your goals. Go get what you want. You deserve it. You're meant to be abundant in this life. You're meant to have everything you want. It is a universal law. The law of abundance is here to serve us. So keep that in mind. I love you guys. And as always, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's go. Bruh.